apologies. My apologies, guys. I don't know what happened, but I accidentally kicked stamina out. I accidentally kicked stamina out. So that is my apologies. Dang it. I don't know how I did that, y'all. I was trying to switch devices and I accidentally kicked stamina out. That's my fault. Let me see. Let me get everybody back in here. My bad, stamina. Let me send stamina the link again. So because we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that. It's always some smoke in the yard for BJ. HWR CHWR HR HWR BX TS6. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Yes, Tehran. Of course I do, bro. Of course I do. I accidentally I accidentally ended the whole live stream. So you got to go back to it, guys. Go back to it. But yeah, Stamina, I sent the link. So yeah, Stamina, hop in here right quick. Cause we got to chat about that, guys. We ain't got long because Combo getting ready to go live. So yeah. I'm telling you, G Frame. I'm telling you. Yeah, Tehran, of course, man. I love men's MMA, but this is a women's MMA channel, bro. Well, Tehran, where you be at when I be interviewing Steve Garcia, bro? If you like men, I be interviewing the guy, bro. I stay interviewing Steve. Come on, Stamina. I sent you the link in the Discord, dog. I didn't mean to do that, y'all. I'm sorry. My fault. That is my fault. Copy. Let me go to copy and put it in. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you again because I messed that up. I meant to hit leave the end. But there it is. There it is for you, Stamina. Come on back in here. Y'all mad at me. I mean, y'all mad at me for Natalia Silva having to take another fight. Like I the one that did it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, chitty, bang, bang. Yikes. Yikes. Straight for my throat, man. Oh no, I ain't ducking the smoke. I sent the link is right there. No. That was a complete accident, Paul. Ain't nobody ducking now. Ain't nobody ducking no smoke, Paul. Thing I don't do is duck no smoke now. Come on, Paul. You know me better than that now. Come on now. I'll never duck any kind of smoke. I think that's it. I think that's what it is, G Frizzle. I think that's what it is, dog. Yes, I think that my smoke too tough for him, dog. I'm telling you, man. Like it's too tough. It's too tough. Way too tough. There we go. All right, we got Stamina back in the building. My bad, Stamina. Now continue on with what you were saying, my friend.
Oh, come on, man.
And you're on with No Filter MMA, Stamina. What you got?
So, check 1, 2.
Oof.
I'm having the most technicals. This is like it's like my first time on the fucking computer.
Right now.
Terrible.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, my bad. What were you saying? Oh.
What was I saying? Yeah, just the whole crosswires thing, man. We haven't. No, why am I hearing myself so loud? Like this is all bonkers.
Can't hear you, man. Okay, now I can
How
hear
am I
you.
gonna suss this? Maybe mute that and put that back on. Check 1, 2.
Oh,
This is some rookie hour, and I'm embarrassing myself out here. Say something for me, please.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's it. That's it. I've sussed it. I've sussed it. I've sussed it. Boom. Yeah, crosswires, man. Like as I was saying before, if this community of people that all follow the fights and whatever, man are not man are not all gonna say the same thing and have the same kind of opinions on the things that went on the news as it breaks and whatnot. So the idea that because I think differently to you about the exact same information as we receive it, that doesn't make me hate. That just makes me me and not you. Like you there telling me that I should go do other stuff. Like if I were to do that, then that would just be one less person around you that didn't agree with you, giving you perspectives that are not yours. Like you need those, even if you don't like them. Everyone should have them. How are you telling me to go do other stuff? Like what is that?
What it is it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. It's the word choice that you use. You know what I'm saying? Like what other innuendo does one take away from the way you put the words together about what you're trying to say? If you don't agree with what I'm saying, then just don't agree with what I'm saying. You know, it's the words that you say. You know what I'm saying? And that
What is so objectionable about the words that I'm saying? I'm talking to
because
your
like you say
points and to
things
your
like I've learned at this point when I can only laugh at this, but you say I can only laugh at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, all I can do is laugh, and I'm like, laugh at what? You're laughing. You're taking it. You're pointing smoke at me for the fact that I'm saying that the UFC wasn't considering her for a title shot. How is that a laughable point? Please explain to me how that's a laughable point.
it's
If the
laughable.
UFC, hold on. If the UFC wanted Natalia Silva to fight Valentina Shevchenko, they would not have just signed her to fight Rose Namajunas. How is that so outlandish that would make you write a comment to say, at this point, all I'm going to do is laugh? Why? What sense does that even make?
The sense that it makes is that you the logical leaps that you do just like that are the things that make me laugh. I understand why you would think that. I understand why that's something that someone could think, but it's the way that you think that that's what this way you frame it as it being that's what it must be, that no other way of thinking, this kind of like the tunnel vision that you have of it, that's why it's laughable, because you're not open to the idea of other perspectives of the same set of circumstances. That's why it's laughable, because that's what you do that other people, myself included, do not do to the same extent. We are open to the idea that this is what it looks like to me, however it could also be ... You don't do that. You're like, if X then Y. If UFC wanted Natalia, then none of this would have happened. That's the absolute as you present it. I don't do that. I will never ever do that with anything if I can help it. There's
Well,
never
what's
just
the
one way to look at
alternative?
anything. What's that?
What's the alternative? What's the alternative?
The
If the
alternative is
UFC,
just
it's a situation that's black. It's a black and white situation. I can
the
understand if there was this whole long drawn out thing as to who is going to fight who. I could understand if it was that, but this is as cut and dry as it can be.
no, dude.
This is
No, 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 no. It's not. It's not. It's not.
okay. So okay,
At least it's not. It's not to me. I don't look at the world like that. It's the very few things are black and white, except for black and white. There is always nuance and perspective and wiggle room with everything. Like the only thing we know is that Natalia accepted an offer that she was given in order to take this fight with Rose. That's the only thing that we know. We can't know what Natalia's opinion or what sorry, we can't know what Natalia's place was in the UFC's estimation either before or after this offer came in for this fight with Rose. For some reason, from experience, we know that Rose gets a lot of opportunities to shine that she doesn't either deserve or even makes the best use of when she gets them. We know that because of past, and past informs future to a degree. But the thing with this Natalia thing is, we don't know if she was the first person that was asked or the 100th. We don't know who else was offered and who else said no or whatever else. We only know that she accepted in order for the fight to be announced. That's it. Anything else is conjecture and surmise. We can just assume. That's all. The only thing we know is what was just released to the public. That's it.
Stamina, you got some bad breakup going on, bro. Like, you got some real bad breakup going on, my friend. Real.
I do. Well, you guys on stream people, like, am I losing you guys as well? Like, because my internet connection's pretty damn good, bro. Like, it shouldn't be breaking up ever. Like, I've got like a gigabit line here.
Ooh,
I can't hear you, bro.
Let me see.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We can't hear.
The chat is saying they can hear me good. It might be you still on your phone and that, bruv. Because as you're talking to me, you're hearing, I'm saying the same kind of like robot kind of vibes going on.
Hey, real quick, I'm in my car. Do y'all hear like AC blowing? Is that like disturbing noise or anything like that?
No, absolutely crystal. Like, I've got like studio headphones on, brother.
I know y'all can hear me. I don't understand what's going on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on, guys.
So you turned on something else that you shouldn't have in order for that.
Go ahead, guys.
Too Bizzle, go true, man.
Hey man, y'all got me in the middle of eating.
My bad.
Right. It's been worse than it will be again. It's fine. We run with it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was you saying, Two Beast? Go ahead. I mean, sorry, Stamina. Go ahead. Finish out your point.
I think I was done. I think I was done for now. Just to for that small specific thing, like, yeah, it's a communication style difference. If in essence, I don't think there's anything beyond that.
But it's not a fact of me saying that that's the absolute reason. For me, that's the reason
sorry, let me stop you. It's not that you're saying that. It's just that the way you present it is that you're not actually open to the idea of it being
but
that.
But that's an assumption. You're assuming that.
Of course, it's an assumption. We have to assume things like that in order to get through the day as humans. We have to do that. But not everything can be presented as factual for that. We have to just understand the conventions and the rails within which we converse. We all do that.
I understand. Stamina, I understand, but this is what I suspected anyways. You're saying that as if I haven't already said that I personally think she's not ready to fight for the belt. I said that myself, and then you see something like this, then that's just more evidence for me to say I don't think she was ready to fight for the title.
Right. And in isolation, I have no problem with that. You're allowed to think that. That makes sense to think that. But that is the reason why you are so closed off to the idea of the situation that's just been announced right now not being anything other than the way you perceive it, because that's your belief. Because I don't have that belief on the way in, I'm not having that belief on the way out now either, because I only ever felt that Natalia is the most eligible in order for to be contending for the title. Whether she was actually next for it is a separate discussion. I can't know that because I don't work for the UFC. I just feel like if all other things are equal, then based on merit, she's the one who should get it. Whether she will or not, I've never been able to say that. I would say that if she didn't get it, then that would not be cool. But weirder things have happened in the UFC, so I'd still throw up my hands and be like, okay, fine. I've got a different fight to watch. So yeah, it's not the end of the world either way. I just think Natalia is the most eligible by far on account of her being an undefeated flyweight. That's
Right.
that's what it is fundamentally.
I totally understand. I totally understand what you're saying, bro. But as far as me getting on a platform and saying what it is that I feel, that's exactly what I feel. That I'm saying that I don't think that she was ready to fight for the belt. Y'all going so hard for Natalia, you know what I'm saying? Y'all going so hard for Natalia Silva. She hasn't even shown us that she can beat Valentina Shevchenko. She hasn't shown but one set of tools. That's the whole point. It goes back to the point that I was making. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
And for you, and hold on. And listen, guys, listen. I don't care how y'all twist it because we're getting lost in the sauce right now. We're getting stamina. We're getting lost in the sauce at the moment. Okay. The point of the matter is,
Fuck Harry Potter.
if the UFC wanted Natalia Silva to fight Valentina Shevchenko in her next fight, they would have found somebody else to fight Rose Namajunas. Rose is not in the top 5. Rose is outside the top 5. Rose has been shaky at flyweight. It would have been somebody else. I'm just going off of what I saw. The Joanne Calderwood situation, like I pointed out on the part 1 of this video, Joanne Calderwood decided she wanted to take another fight too before her title shot, and look what happened to Joanne Calderwood.
Right, but that works both for and against your previous point, because UFC have no problem with a fighter who is most likely the next contender spoiling their contention chances by taking a stay busy fight. They don't mind that, because the only thing they really care about is that their cards are full. They generally don't put all their eggs into one basket to be like, this fighter must fight the champion next. It's very rare they do that. Whoever is supposed to be next by whatever pecking order them and the matchmakers have done is open to change and is flexible at the end of the day, because they just need to adapt to whatever the schedule permits. Grasso's out. They need to fill a slot on a card now. The same card that's one of many that they're going to get $1.1 billion for the next 7 years for. They have to fill these cards. So whatever they wanted to do under the ideal circumstances can't be ideal anymore, because something has had to change. That's just what they do. They adapt. They change stuff. So yes, Natalia is exactly like what fucking Calderwood was potentially now. She's taken a fight that she didn't need to take, and the cards are going to fall wherever they fall. They do that all the time.
But how does that transform into tearing down whatever I have to say? Because it seems like this whole topic, you have been vocal about what I've been saying. You've torn down every point that I've made as if it's not a valid point, which I don't care. I don't care if if you do that. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, dude, like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, every point that I make, you shoot it down you make a comment in the comment section that's just like, oh, you can't take anything that BJ says seriously, as if I'm not spitting facts out, as if I'm not saying legitimate shit out here. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, that's kind of, at some point, it's kind of like, all right, dude, like, what's your problem? You know what I'm saying? Because this whole conversation that me and Combo have been having about who is the rightful number 1 contender, who has more tools to fight for the belt, everything I say, you go out of your way to write a comment to say something that's kind of like passive aggressive as to pointing out something that I said. And I'm just like, well, what does Stamina have going on? Like, what have I done to Stamina?
BJ.
Because hold on. Because me saying that I feel that this is the reason why the reason why she's taking this fight or whatever is that, the whole, that this is part of one of the many moving pieces that made this fight happen. That is not out of the realm of possibility. That is not something that is like, oh, I'm only going to laugh at that because that doesn't make any sense. Listen, guys, I know y'all want Natalya Silva to fight for the belt. I know y'all want her to. Y'all have made it clear that y'all want Natalya Silva to fight for the belt. I get it. But I'm not the one making the decisions here. I'm not the one making the decisions. BJ, No Filter MMA makes zero decisions when it comes to matchmaking in the UFC. Tag Mick Maynard, tag Sean Shelby, tag Hunter Campbell, tag Dana White. Them are the ones you should be mad at. All I'm saying is this supports what I was saying. I don't think that she was ready to fight for the belt. And clearly the UFC was not considering her to fight for the belt right away.
But then that's where we disagree right there. You were all right.
Okay, but we can disagree. We can disagree. We can disagree. I disagree.
We always do though. We've had this before. Even this we've had before.
But
you've known me long enough to know that regardless of how what specific words that I use, you should know that this is never going to be an actual like ill-intentioned set of circumstances. It's the opinion. It's not a you thing. It's the opinions that you espouse. I'm attacking the message, not the messenger. It's only ever been that, and it will only ever be that.
But Stamina, what you're not understanding is me and Combo Breaker disagree a lot on different things, but he doesn't put passive-aggressive comments in the comment section.
Dude,
I'm trying to figure out the passive-aggressive comments. Like, why the passive-aggressive comments towards me? I didn't do this. I'm just reporting on it.
It's banter, BJ. I've been talking to you here for the best part of a decade at this point. The fact that you don't know this of me, and the fact that you don't know that this is not something that is exclusive to you either, doesn't make any sense to me. But as well as you don't know my real name, you don't know where I live or anything like that. You know something of the way that I present myself to the community here. That which I actually do know your
real name. I actually do know your real name because I have your email address, and then your email address has your real name in it. So if I want to find you,
no, it doesn't.
But you added me on social media.
No, none of those ones have my actual name in it, but whatever.
But you either added me on social media or something. You added me on social media or something, so I do know your real name. But long story short,
yeah, that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, yeah, that the way that I speak to you today is the way that I'll speak to you next week, next month, next year. This has always been it, dude. And so the idea that you would react so badly to that which I've always done with you, and we have had little kind of like disconnects in terms of actual communication with this before, where you've misunderstood my intentions before. We've done this before, BJ. Like, you are you and I am me. So by virtue of us being the same kinds of people, it should never get to the point where you're telling me to go do other stuff, or you're thinking that I'm being passive aggressive or whatever, because nothing that you're saying today is any more out of keeping with what you would normally do than you would have said last year or the year before or whatever. This is just who we are.
Yeah. Okay, Stamina. Okay, Stamina. You still Stamina. Okay, I get it. Okay, I overreacted. I get it. But Two Beasts, you are in the chat, Two Beasts. What do you have to say about Natalya Silva taking this fight?
Well, okay. So first thing I gotta say is when I initially I got it in my notification. I only got 3.
We got 10 minutes left.
All right, I'll make it quick. So my initial reaction was, this doesn't make sense to me. And then after thinking about it, I was like, okay, it doesn't mean that she's not going to fight for the title next. Because here's the thing. I can't remember the last time Valentina fought more than 3 times within a year span. Or more than 2 times, actually. She usually fights only twice a year. So that gives a 6-month gap in between her fights, naturally. But this time, specifically on multiple interviews, she said she's got injuries to recover from before she's even thinking about a next opponent. So she just fought November 15th. This fight is taking place January 24th. That's 2 months. So that leaves 4 months, probably at least, before we're going to see Valentina in a cage. Natalia Silva typically doesn't take hardly any damage in her fights, which I mean, I get it. We'll never agree on this about her being ready to fight Val, but name another person who takes as little damage as Val other than Natalia Silva. I dare you to do that. Like, how many people over the course of their career have taken less damage than Natalia and Valentina with the many fights they have?
Catelyn Chukagian.
She took quite a bit of damage in her Valentina fight. I'm just saying, like,
but leading up to the Valentina fight, Chukagian didn't take much damage.
All right, we got one.
And we seen what happened to Chukagian.
Chukagian and Natalia Silva are completely different fighters. How many people?
You said name a fighter, bro. You said name a fighter,
and you did. But what I'm saying is, like, it's not many. It's not a very long list of people who have over 5 fights in the UFC who have taken as little damage as her. So saying that she's not ready based on her performances as opposed to Aaron Blanchfield's performances, as opposed to other people's performances. You look at how she does things versus everybody else. I mentioned this a billion times in the other video. It's a gap, bro. It's like a very significant gap between the damage that she inflicts and the damage that she absorbs. The only other person doing that is Val. That's why they should be matched up. But as far as this meaning that she's not ready, it doesn't make sense to me, because at the end of the day, if, let's say, for example, worst case scenario for a would-be Natalia Silva fan, right, is that UFC has it out for her. And they're like, you know what? We don't want this chick anywhere near a title. We just don't like her. If that were the case, why on earth would they put her in a split screen during Valentina's post-fight interview in the cage? Like, worst case scenario, if they're like, we have no intentions of this girl fighting next, why would they do a split screen with her? This is the UFC we're talking about. They are very marketing heavy. They're very like, hey, we want to put the spotlight on this person based on this amount of money we think we're going to make. And all the dollars and all the this, that, and the other with the UFC. They're like, you know what? We want to put this girl's face on the screen.
Okay.
Think about that. If they have no intention.
I got you.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the other thing. Like I said, Valentina rarely fights earlier than 6 months in between her fights. It's usually at least 5 to probably about 9 months in between her fights, usually. That gap between Natalia fighting Rose January 24th and the 6-month mark, which would be April 15th officially, that's plenty of time for Natalia, if she keeps to her ways, which is taking very minimal damage. She could absolutely be ready for a fight against Valentina, considering the fact that she's taken this on less than 2 months' notice. So apparently she feels confident enough and ready enough to fight Rose Namajunas on a 2-month notice. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility of the UFC being like, okay, Natalia's, it's going to be probably at least a year. Do you want this fight? And who knows, maybe UFC said, if you take this fight, there is a 100% chance that absolutely no one else will be booked to fight Valentina but you. We're not even going to consider it. It doesn't matter what anybody does. We won't consider it. They could have made that offer to Natalia. Mm-hmm. And then her team might have said, you know what? Let's just stay busy. We believe this is a very winnable fight. Not an easy fight, but a winnable fight against Rose. Let's just stay busy and completely lock in and eliminate any shenanigans from us not being booked next to fight Valentina. That could also be the case. And what I think it is, honestly, is maybe Dana White doesn't like people waiting around, and they might have come at her and said, you know what, if you don't take this fight, we're going to book someone else. Maybe they did that. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure she had a good reason for taking this fight, considering that she was in an interview and specifically said she doesn't want to take another fight unless it's for the belt. So I'm assuming there was a good reason why she accepted the fight. But with all I just said, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's not next for the belt.
Okay, bet. So the first thing you said was, why would they put her in a split screen with Valentina, right? You said that, right?
Yeah.
So after Ilia Topuria won the lightweight belt, after he went up and fought Charles Oliveira and beat him and got the lightweight belt, they also split screen Paddy Pimblett. They also brought Paddy Pimblett into the octagon with Ilia Topuria. Did Paddy Pimblett get a title shot? Or is Paddy Pimblett booked to fight somebody else? Paddy Pimblett is booked. No, hold on. No. Paddy Pimblett is booked to fight somebody else. So you can do the split screen all you want to. A fighter can call you out all they want to. You can step in the cage all you want to after somebody wins. It doesn't matter. If the UFC wants you to have that fight, they will give you that fight. If the UFC wanted Paddy Pimblett to fight Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title, they would have booked it. But they did. But guess what? But guess what, Two Beasts? They didn't. They did not book that fight.
There's two things wrong with you saying though.
No, Two Beasts. No, Two Beasts. No, Two Beasts. I am not going to let you sit here. I'm not going to let you sit here and say there's something wrong with what I said. You said, when you first started talking, you said if the UFC was not considering putting Natalia Silva in a fight with Valentina Shevchenko, why would they split screen her? That was your exact words. And they did the same thing when Ilia Topuria won the belt. They split screened them with Paddy Pimblett, who was in the audience, and they brought Paddy Pimblett into the cage. They squared off in the cage, and everybody thought that was going to be the next fight. Everybody thought that was going to be the next fight. That was not the next fight. Paddy is booked to fight somebody already, and it's not Ilia Topuria. It's the same damn thing. This is what's wrong with what you're saying. How? And it's the same scenario.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna tell you if you let me.
Oh God. Okay. So now it's not the same scenario. Oh my Lord Jesus. Go ahead, Two Beasts.
You gave me two completely different scenarios. And here's why. So, hey, listen, man. I understand, like, you're passionate about it, and I get it, but I'm gonna tell you why right now. First thing, where is Paddy Pimblett ranked as opposed to Ilia Topuria?
I'm pretty sure Paddy's in the top. I'm pretty sure Paddy's in the top 5. I'd have to look and see.
5. Paddy's 5.
Paddy's ranked number 5. So if you're 1 through 5, you're ready to fight for the title.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So
who was Paddy's last win?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember.
Let me look at that. My God.
I can't remember that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember that.
Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler. Okay.
Was Chandler the last champion?
No. We went, but that's not what you said though. That's not the point you made.
Let me finish. The point that you were saying is that what Stamina had called you out about, right? What he was saying is that it doesn't automatically mean that she was not considered whatsoever, right? Like, wait a minute.
Say that again. Say that again.
What Stamina has said is it's not a foregone conclusion that just because this fight is booked, that they absolutely were not considering her to be fighting for the belt next, right? Like, that was not the case at all, considering the fact that she was booked in this fight.
That's not what I'm saying. That ain't what I said. I said no. That ain't what I said. I said the UFC doesn't feel like she. I think the UFC don't feel like she's ready to fight for the title. Or
Okay,
otherwise,
so
the UFC wasn't convinced that she was the next title challenger.
okay, you just gave me an example of Patty Pimblett, right? What about, what is that guy's name? He's the flyweight that's fighting very soon. What is his name?
Joshua Van.
So Van got the whole same deal as Natalia, except for the cage thing. You said Patty Pimblett got in the cage and everything, and they didn't give him the fight, but they did give Jan the fight. Well,
No, Joshua Van fought on the same night as Alessandro Pantoja, though. He made a huge statement against, I think it was Brandon Royval, if I'm not mistaken. I think he beat Brandon.
Natalia
Say it
Silva
again.
didn't make a huge statement though by beating the former champ. She didn't make a huge statement to him. I mean, we both just experienced the same thing, right?
I'm not saying Natalia Silva should not fight. I'm not saying that Natalia Silva doesn't deserve to fight for the belt, bro. See, that I feel like that's what y'all want me to say. Y'all want me to say Natalia Silva does not deserve the fight for the title. I have never wanted that Natalia Silva does not deserve the fight for the title.
No, what I'm getting at is the argument towards the split screen not meaning that they're considering the person for the title shot. That's the point where we're discussing right now, right?
I mean,
and what I just brought to you was the Joshua Van thing. It goes both ways. You see that it can happen when someone is in a split screen. That does mean that they are being considered. It's not always 100% the case. Injuries happen. A lot of things can happen. But to say that she was not considered,
what you said, 2Bs. That's not what you said, though, 2Bs. No, you said
the idea that you said that there's no way they were considering her if they would have put her in a split screen. That's why I was saying, why would they put her in a split screen if they had no intention?
But I didn't say that. I did not say that. I did not say that. Y'all are putting words in my mouth now. All I said was she couldn't have been the first choice because they booked her to fight Rose. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I'm not saying these things that you're saying that I said. That I feel like that's what y'all want me to say. That's the point. That's what y'all wanted me to say. Y'all have to, if y'all are going to refute something that I said, then let it be, then refute what I said. Don't refute something that I did not say. I never said Natalia Silva does not deserve to fight for the title. And I never said that they never considered her to fight for the title. I said she must not have been the first choice, because if they wanted her, if the UFC, just like they wanted Joshua Van to fight Alessandro Pantoja, they wanted that. They could have put somebody else. Brandon Royval could have fought for the belt. He's the rightful contender to fight for the belt at flyweight for men. Brandon Royval should have been the one that got the title shot. But if I'm not mistaken, Joshua Van beat Brandon Royval. You know what I'm saying? So that made Joshua Van's case, and the UFC wanted Joshua Van to fight him for the belt. So he got the title shot. But what I'm saying is, 2Bs, what you actually said was, BJ, how can you say that the UFC was not considering her when they did the split screen? And I gave you an example of somebody getting the split screen and actually taking it a step further and getting into the cage and squaring off with the champion who just won the belt and didn't get the title shot. That's what I said.
Right. So you said they're not considering her.
I said that she was not their first choice to fight for. She was not their first choice. If they really wanted her to fight, then they would have found somebody else to fight Rose. Simple. That is the most simplest thing in the world. That's the problem. Y'all want me to say things that I'm not saying. I never said
it's
that.
not.
No,
I
but
never
BJ,
said the UFC. I never said the UFC is not considering Natalia Silva. I said obviously they didn't want her to fight for the belt.
maybe it's a thing of like she was the first choice, but because she's not the only choice, they can let her not be the first choice by allowing her to take that other fight. It's not imperative that she does it. It's best for them that she does it, but she's not the only choice. Therefore, she can go do something else by fighting Rose.
And you just stamina, and you just made my point. You literally just made my point. So what's all the backlash for? You literally just made my point. So what was the backlash for?
Have I just made your point?
Say what you just said.
I'll concede it if I have, but like I don't.
Say what you just said again.
I kind of don't remember what I said, to be honest. I'm kind of just winging
He
it. But
basically said that it could be a scenario where she was the first choice, but they understand that although she is the first choice, they do have other choices as well. That's what he was saying.
Right. So exactly. So obviously they felt that okay, let's say because y'all want me to bring up Aaron Blanchfield's name so bad. Y'all want me to bring that name up so bad,
Now
so I'm
you
gonna bring
putting
that
words
name
in
up
my
right
name.
quick.
Now you putting
Hold
words
on,
in my
hold
mouth.
on.
I never mentioned Aaron Blanchfield
No,
about
I'm talking
her.
about people in the comments. They want me to start in on Aaron Blanchfield so bad. Okay, so let's say hypothetically that's the fight that the other choice, since Natalia Silva wasn't the only choice. Say for instance, Aaron Blanchfield was the other choice. You know what I'm saying? So they obviously felt that they can do away with Natalia Silva fighting for the belt and go another route.
well,
That's
it's not obvious though. That's the thing. We don't know if Erin wasn't offered the fight first and turned it down. We don't know that.
We don't know that, but I'm just stating my opinion. That's the whole point of the whole me even saying anything about it. Y'all started in on me in the Discord.
Right.
Y'all
Well,
start y'all
I
started
just feel
in
like anyone's opinion can't have the word obviously in it, because obviously kind of eliminates the opinion out of it and makes it seem like you're just speaking a fact into the atmosphere. You're saying it's obvious. It isn't obvious. That's just the way you
it's
perceive
obvious,
it.
but it's obvious to me. It's obvious. It's obvious to me. And what I think is that they didn't want her. She wasn't their first choice. They don't want her to fight for the belt. If they wanted Natalia Silva, like I said, guys, if the UFC, when has the UFC never done what they wanted to do? Can somebody name a time that the UFC has not done exactly what they wanted to do?
Injuries.
Exactly. The
Hundreds of
UFC,
times.
the UFC does exactly what the UFC wants to do. And if the UFC wanted to book Natalia Silva for Valentina Shevchenko next, then she would not be fighting Rose Namajunas. She would not be risking injuries. She would not be risking losing. She would not be risking all the things that are risked when you're going into a fight in the highest level of mixed martial arts. She's not fighting a bum. She's fighting former champion Rose Namajunas. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
Let me ask you something, BJ.
Go
So
ahead.
to put you, let me ask you something. As much as as much as much as I get why you feel the way you do and don't really accept that you feel as strongly about the way that you do as you do, what I want you to do for me, if you can, even if not now, just at some point in the coming days, let's say if the argument is that if Natalia is the single and uppermost title contender for Valentina next, that she would have actually been like put aside and taken off the board, and other things would have been moved around so as to preserve Natalia for the next title shot, right? If that's what we've been seeing today actually is, can you cite any other examples of the same thing being done within the women's divisions? Another title contender being put aside and basically put on ice for the champion.
freaking Aaron Blanchfield, man, they ain't let her do that. It was like, nah, you can't wait. You got to fight Manon. Same thing. If Manon freaking won 6, 7 fights, they like, nah, you can't wait for Valentina. You got to fight Aaron Blanchfield.
Bingo. Bingo.
But I'm just saying, like, obviously Manon or Aaron was next, but they were both undefeated on a win streak. That's the difference right here, man. That's the thing that makes this difficult for me, is because I get it. Like, okay, they booked her in another fight. Uh-oh, she's not gonna fight Val next. That don't mean that Natalia's next fight doesn't have to be for the title. But Valentina's next fight might be still Natalia. That's not outside the realm of possibility.
No, and it's not. But look at the next. But look at the next contender, Aaron Blanchfield, who come off of a finish on the same night that Valentina defended her belt against Wei Lee.
But who did she finish?
She finished Tracy Cortez. That's after only losing one fight to Manon Fior and then coming back and beating a former champion. And the only reason she fought Tracy in the top 5 for her to fight.
Right.
Natalia Silva didn't want. Natalia Silva didn't fight her. Natalia Silva didn't fight Aaron Blanchfield.
Because Natalia Silva wanted a more difficult fight, which was Valentina, which is for the belt. But here's my thing, though. You stopped someone that was 4 rankings behind you. I mean, what does that prove? In regards to being a more deserving contender than the number 1 contender who just beat the former champ. How can you stop someone that's outside of the top 5 when your last fight was Rose Namajunas, who was outside of the top 5? And then you stop someone who was outside of the top 5. Natalia Silva beat the former champion inside of the top 5 and did it more impressively than the current champion who beat Alexa. How can a win over Aaron, how can Aaron win against someone outside of the top 5? No matter how she does it. It could be a 30-25. It could be a stoppage. It could be a retirement. Anything you can think of. But that person is outside of the top 5. Natalia beat the former champ who beat Valentina. That was Grasso's first fight after being champion. Like I said, there is not a more credible win in regards to earning a title shot other than beating the champion themselves in a non-title fight. That is the only win that holds more weight than that.
Then why didn't they find somebody? Then why didn't they find somebody else to fight Rose Namajunas? That's my point.
Because everybody else in the top 5 is
booked. Nope. Everybody is not booked. At 11 through 15, everybody is not booked. Rose is outside of the top 5. Rose is outside of the listen. Rose is outside of the top 5. Rose last win was Miranda Maverick. She needs to fight somebody else on that level to build herself back up. They keep giving Rose these bones, and Rose fumbles the ball every single time she's given a bone. They threw her a bone with Manon Fior. She lost the fight. They threw her a bone with Aaron Blanchfield. She lost the fight. She beat Miranda Maverick. She beat Tracy Cortez. Okay. So clearly her next fight needs to be somebody else on that kind of a level. You got Gabriela Fernandez. You've got Wayne Cohn, Casey O'Neill. One of them could fight her. One of those, call on one of those. Casey O'Neill begging for a fight on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? She begging for a fight. You know what I'm saying? So why not book that fight? Why did they have to? Why was Natalia Silva, if she's so primed and hot and ready to fight for the belt, why did the UFC ask her to fight somebody outside of ask her to fight down? There, you're missing the point. Bro, stamina. I mean, a two beast, bro. The bottom line is they're asking Natalia to fight down. They asked her to fight down, no matter how you twist it, turn it, flip it, reverse it. They asked her to fight down outside of the top 5, bro. Bro. It's like
Right.
that point of it is not registering to you, bro. They if they wanted her to fight for the belt, they would have asked her to fight for the belt.
Well, here's the thing, though.
How are they
They
gonna ask
asked
her to
they
fight for
asked
the
her to
belt
fight
though? If
down, but she could have said no. She agreed to do it. If she said no, then maybe they would have gone and asked all those girls that you just named. But she said yes. So it's a Joanne Calderwood situation. She could have said no, but she didn't.
So why y'all mad at me for?
No one's
What
ever
you
been
mad?
mad
What
at
you
you
mad
this
at me
entire
for?
time. You're not a martyr, BJ. No one's mad at you ever. Not ever. Not today, not yesterday, not tomorrow.
Well, when I say
Never.
mad at me, well, when I say mad at me, I'm really saying, what's the problem with what I'm saying, though? What's the issue with what I'm saying?
The issue with what you're saying is the logical leaps and just jumps to conclusions that are based on surmise is what it is. Your
Oh my,
inflexibility is the issue.
oh my goodness, man!
what BJ, I ain't mad at you. I get it. Natalia Silva is not your flavor. I get it.
Never said that.
Aaron Blanchfield is much more appealing to you based on her particular skill set and her particular style of fighting. And you feel as though that style and that skill set is better prepared for Valentina than Natalia Silva. That isn't going to change. I get that. The point of this particular debate is the fact that Natalia Silva got booked to fight Rose automatically means that she's not fighting Valentina next. Like, that's not something that UFC would have done if they wanted Natalia Silva to fight for the belt. If they wanted Natalia Silva to fight for the belt, they wouldn't have booked her against Rose. That's the debate. They still could have both. They could have both. That's the thing that's my issue with it. It's not like,
I think that's the point.
It's not like this fight automatically means, okay, yep, we can mark that off of our checklist of things that the UFC has planned. Yep, this obviously wasn't something that they planned on doing because now she's fighting Rose. That my problem with that is Valentina fights once every 6 months. Mm-hmm. There is plenty of time for Natalia Silva. What if Natalia? I'm not saying she's going to do this. I don't predict this. But what if Natalia Silva catches Rose in a flash knockout and takes zero damage?
All of that you just talked about, Two Beasts, all of that is hypothetical, intangible stuff. That's all what if. Listen, hold on. That's all what ifs and what if she does this, and I can only talk about what I can put my finger on. And what I can put my finger on is they asked Natalia Silva to fight down. That's the only thing. I can't go off of hypotheticals and what ifs. I can't go off of that. The only thing I can go off of, the only thing I can concretely go off of that clearly supports what I've been saying, and what I've been saying is I think that Natalia Silva could get some more tools in her basket to be more prepared to fight Valentina Shevchenko, because we haven't seen more than one side of Natalia Silva. That it supports my whole point. I don't feel like she's got all the tools to go in here and beat Valentina Shevchenko. Okay, so now put yourself in my shoes. Imagine that that's how you think. Okay, that you think that she's underprepared to fight Valentina. So despite her 7-fight win streak, you still think she's unprepared to fight. And then you get there's a big hype saying, oh my gosh, she should fight for the belt. She's the viable next contender. They did the split screen with Natalia. It's pretty much written in stone. And then you see Alexa Grasso pulls out, and now the UFC booked Natalia Silva to fight the number 6 ranked fighter, and she's the number 1 contender. She's the number 1. Hold on. She's the number 1 contender, and they asked her to fight a number 6 fighter.
2.
Now,
If
what?
I
Now, wait a minute, hold on. Now, thinking what? Now, imagine you thinking what I'm thinking about Natalia Silva not
yeah,
being super prepared to fight. Now, what would you think if you saw that? You gonna think, okay,
well,
damn, they didn't feel
if
like
I
she
was
was. Say
if I
what?
was in your shoes and I was that person, I would have went out and trolled a bunch of Natalia fans. That's what I would have did. If I was, I'm not, I get it.
So what's the issue? If that's what you two beats, if that's what you would have done, if you telling me that if that would have happened, and if it was you, that your next move would have been, I'm gonna go out and troll some Natalia fans, then what's the problem with me doing it right now? Because that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing, is trolling these Natalia Silva fans. Bingo, you hit the nail on the head. Ding, ding, ding.
Right. That's why I'm agreeing with you
Like
because
that.
you told me to put in perspective if I was someone who didn't believe in her skill set. Obviously, if I don't believe in her skill set, as someone who puts out content on YouTube on a regular basis, what I would be doing is putting together evidence and past things and da 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 to make arguments towards those who disagree with me. That's what I would be doing if I was someone who didn't believe in her skill set. So yeah, absolutely. I would have came out, made a video, and said, "Oh, all y'all Natalia Silva fans thought she's next. So why is this fight happening?" That would have been the first question I asked. Absolutely. But me on the other side, I'm simply answering that question that someone in your position, rightfully so, should ask. I'm coming from the other side and answering the question. Well, this is why I think the fight was booked. And this is why I don't believe it means that she's not necessarily next. It's a natural occurrence that's going on right here. Nobody's wrong necessarily. We're just spitting back and forth arguments to our own beliefs. That's all that's happening. So yeah, absolutely, BJ. I'll jump on the train with you and troll Natalia if I believed her skill set was not ready.
I'm trolling you Natalia Silva fans to death. I'm gonna troll y'all to death till I lose my voice. Do you hear me? I'm
Loud and
trolling y'all
clear.
all the way till this fight happens. And lo and behold, if Rose go in here and beat Natalia, oh Lord have
No,
mercy.
no, 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 no. She don't even have to beat Natalia. If Rose gets Natalia to a knee, it'll be the end of everything. Oh, she can't win. Da, da. I already know what's gonna happen.
I'm
Natalia
glad you
cannot
don't.
even take a single punch. She can't take a single anything in this. If she
I
looks
didn't say
anything
that.
less
Now.
than
I didn't
perfect,
say all of that. I didn't say all
listen,
that. Now. I didn't say all that.
listen. If anything less than an absolute shutout happens, I already know what's going to happen. This the person that's supposed to beat Valentina? Hell no. Da, 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 da. It's
Listen,
going to be an endless onslaught of why Natalia ain't ready because she took one clean shot from Rose. I
Stamina.
guarantee you.
Stamina?
This is
Does
the
that
receipt.
sound logical to you? Does that sound logical to you, Stamina?
This is the
Dude,
receipt.
trolling doesn't sound logical to me, dude. You can't ask me that. I don't troll. Like,
No, I'm saying, does that sound like something I would say?
it sounds like something you'd think about. Yeah, I think you could find some sport in that for sure. Yeah, I do. I really do. Sincerely.
It to be you damn right. You damn right. You ain't Stoobies. I ain't never heard you say nothing more right. All of these years that I've known you, bro, I ain't never heard you say nothing more right. I'm gonna tear their ass up. You hear me? I'm gonna tear their ass up.
But here's the problem, BJ. Here's the one problem that I face. I only can hope that Aaron Blanchfield gets her shot so that I can do the same exact thing. Because
And I'm ready.
here's the thing. We know
And I'm
Natalia's
ready.
probably going to be fighting Valentina at some point. But is Aaron going to be fighting her? I don't know. She
I
lost to
mean,
Manon, who lost to Valentina. So if we get past Manon, I don't know. So
yeah,
at
I
least
mean that's true.
See,
I want to see it. I really do, man. I want to see Aaron go in there and and fight Valentina. I would love to see it. And hey, if you right, you right. I don't got a problem being wrong, man.
Y'all thought I trolled y'all when Juliana Pena beat Amanda Nunes. Y'all thought that was trolling. Y'all thought that was trolling. Let Rose go in here and beat Natalia Silva. Boy, I swear to God. It's gonna be
was different
hell
though,
on
because I
our
was
waters,
disinterested in that one.
and y'all gonna have to listen to it. Listen,
But BJ, I will though. That's the thing. I will. I've done it before,
I
and I
know you
will
will. I
again.
know
I
you.
will.
But listen, y'all, listen. Combo is live. So let's hop on over to Combo, see what this guy's talking about. Real quick, guys, I want to hear what y'all got to think about Montana De La Rosa being signed to PFL.
Well deserved that someone is even, signing her. I mean, it's like I just don't get why she couldn't stay signed to UFC. Like it's like which the example, or not example, but the comment you or someone made, like there have been lesser fighters that have gotten to stay. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like people that are on like 4 fight losing streaks that got to stay, and it's a rare thing where you get fighters that really want to fight, and there's no politics. Like, hey, I'll fight anybody. Da da da. I don't care who it is.
Right. Right.
You know. So you want to hold on to those if they're, And here's the thing: if you don't believe in that fighter as a promoter, you can keep that fighter around to, make a name off the ones you believe is the star. It's a win-win to keep around fighters who are willing to fight whoever. So if they're not on a crazy losing streak, like 5+ or something, I don't see why not keep them around. You know what I'm saying? Like to build the names of your other fighters that you believe in.
Facts. What you got to say? Stamina? And then we're gonna jump on over to Combo.
I mean, I'm pretty much in the same sort of place. I feel like, as much as I've never really been high on DLR, like they absolutely did her filthy in all of that. I don't see any reason why she would get the scissors at all, never mind under the circumstances which they ultimately did. They kept Andrea Leah around for all that time and let her go. That's never going to be okay with me. Like never. But the fact that she's actually at PFL to give Dakota someone to fight, and I would be more interested in watching Dakota fight DLR than fucking Killholtz. So yeah, good. It can only be good.
All right, guys, listen. You know what this sounds like to me, 2Bs? This sounds like the precursor to Rear Naked Smoke episode 4. What you think, 2Bs?
I think absolutely. Come January 24th, well, 25th for me, probably. Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah,
no, you
January
gotta be
25th.
no. Ain't no way in hell you not gonna watch this fight live, dog. Ain't no way in hell, 2Bs. You gotta watch this fight live. Ain't no missing this fight live, dog.
I can't do it, man. I've been traumatized by this. You gotta understand. I'm on the phone and I'm supposed to have 5G, but look, man, I done seen too much. I'm too in tune with technology, man, and I cannot do sports live, bro. I cannot, bro. Internet go out and I miss one punch, it come back, someone's on the mat, I'ma lose my goddamn mind. And it's happened to me. That's happened to
Don't
me,
you hate
bro.
that, though?
The phone's hitting the wall at high speed, bro. It's getting launched.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's happened to me, man. Where
Bro, that
internet just
shit
come on
happened.
out of nowhere.
Bro, that shit happened to me in Josiane Nunez versus Priscilla Cachoeira, dog. That shit blinked for a second, man. And it came back on, and Josiane was face down, man. I said, damn.
No.
So no, man. I watch replays, I turn my notifications off, and I watch the replay early morning. Sunday morning is where I do it, between like 3 a.m. and 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Eastern time. Like I just wake up early, watch it after. Like I got to.
All
I
right,
can't
guys.
be
Well,
live.
listen, guys. I appreciate y'all coming on, but I'm gonna jump out of here, guys, so we can get over the combos.
All right, bro. I'm there too.
All right. Peace out, Stamina. Peace out, 2Bs.
Peace.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off of here, jump on over the combo, guys. Let's keep it going. Peace out.